Greetings, everyone. Welcome to a very special online event today called Journey Within, Breathwork for Mystical Transformation Without Psychedelics. I'm Lola, Course and Retreat Manager at the Shift Network, and I'm honored to be hosting today's program and bringing you Dr. Marie Mbouni, trauma-informed ceremonies and integration facilitator, spiritual guide, and coach. We're very excited to share about a powerful 10-day retreat with Puma Quispe Singona, Dr. Marie, and a host of other guest faculty, musicians, and facilitators for an initiation into shamanic culture, Andean shamanic culture, ceremonial music, and sacred plant allies that we'll share a little bit more about later in this event. We'll have a full hour with Dr. Marie today, and at the end of our time together, we'll share how you can make a bigger commitment to your own transformation in our upcoming Sacred Journey to Peru, and have some time for Q&A with Dr. Marie. Before we get into the workshop, I'd like to introduce Dr. Marie. Dr. Marie Mbouni has been called the entrepreneur shaman. She's a spiritual guide, a consciousness coach, and a trauma-informed sacred ceremony and integration facilitator. Marie is founder of Heart Leadership and the Source Codes Mystery School. She's a leading expert in guiding high-performing leaders, entrepreneurs, founders, and creatives to get reconnected and manifest their fullest expression, where true healing happens, so they can achieve high levels of performance, holistic success, alignment, and joy. Marie has boldly opened up to the power of the heart and mind, the beauty of intuition, and the all-encompassing power of love. She's now stepped into her destiny as a healer, embracing her potential beyond the confines of the mainstream. A philanthropist, Marie is passionate about sacred reciprocity and giving back to help the world evolve into a better place. Welcome, Dr. Marie.
Thank you, Lola. I'm so happy to be here.
It's great to have you. Let's get started, and I'll turn it over to you.
Welcome, everybody. I'm so passionate about our event today. And so I want to share about the things that can happen when you go on a plant medicine retreat, even if you are not on your evolutionary path. And I want to share how this can help you elevate your life and achieve a quantum leap. One of the things I would like to do today is that I would like to guide you in an experience where you can go into those altered states of consciousness. And we're going to do this through a special breathwork technique. And it's not going to be very long, but you'll be able to get there. So the practice is triactive breath technique, and it goes with 3 short inhales through the mouth and 1 long exhale through the mouth. And I will demonstrate. So you gently open your mouth, not too wide, just gently. I already feel so relaxed even after 3 breaths. Let me know your experience.
Thank you. And can you please explain how this mimics a plant medicine experience or the altered state of consciousness?
So what happens is that when you breathe this way, you stop your mental chatter, the part of your brain that's like the neocortex, the cognitive brain, and you start to go into deeper brain waves. And these different brain waves can then interrupt what we call the default mode network, right? And, you know, the thing about the breath as we do this as well is that, you start to go into stillness. You're not distracted by anything, and you are the one generating the experience. Meaning, if you stop breathing, then it doesn't happen, right? And so during plant medicine experiences, we are in a state of stillness as well. We are in a state where we are working with the plant medicine. We are in a state where ideally we release resistance, right? So, for example, if you're doing this breath and you're constantly thinking, oh my gosh, this one was not deep enough, I did it wrong. Was it 4 breaths, 4 inhales, or oh man, I can't even remember, right? You just keep doubting and questioning. You're not going to have an experience. So just like with this breath, you have to be present, right? You have to be in the process of doing it in order to receive the benefits that I talked about. Same way in the plant medicine ally, you are also working with the plant medicine. You are listening to the plant medicine. You are communicating in the way that works for you with the plant medicine. And also, when you resist and questions and doubt everything, it's also possible that your experience doesn't go so smoothly, right? So, this is kind of a practice that can really help. And the other thing that I love, this was a little short, but even in that short time, I'm sure that people felt something. And that something is what I want to call your attention to, because we honestly have been kind of educated to only look at big, huge, peak experiences, right? Versus the notion that when you are present, things happen moment by moment by moment by moment. And it's those small things added together that create those big shifts. And so when I invite you to feel what you felt, even with 3 breaths, you might be like, what is she talking about? But if you pay attention, you might notice, oh, my shoulders don't hurt anymore. Ah, I feel so relaxed. Or I'm not having so many thoughts. And deeper and deeper and deeper.
Great. Thank you for explaining that. And you touched a little bit on connecting with the plant. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
So connecting with the plant is just that, connecting with the plant. And what do I mean by just that? The first step is knowing how you sense and perceive information, because everything is information, right? Everything is energy. So, some people are very visual, and, they see things and in that way. And so when you partake in ceremony with the plant medicine, you might also have visions, meaning you see things that, maybe another person sitting next to you might not see. They're not hallucinations, they are visions, right? Hallucination is a pathological a concept. It's like something is wrong. Visions are actually, we are seeking visions, so we want them. Um, some people are very auditory, right? They tend to, you know, if you send them a message, they would rather have an audio message. They really connect to sound and music. And, you know, when you partake with the medicine, you might hear things, you know, you might hear messages, you might hear the music in a different way. Some people are very kinesthetic. So, you know, maybe you're one of those people, like when you are guided through a meditation, you might say, oh, I can't visualize. I cannot visualize. I don't know how to do that. Maybe you are kinesthetic. And that's how you sense and perceive information, meaning it's through sensations, feelings, emotions. You might be one of those people who are like, oh, I'm getting chills, you know, when you really love something, or, oh, you know, I had so many tears when I was watching that movie, or you get goosebumps, butterflies in the stomach. Like that's how you sense and perceive information, and that's also how you would be connecting with the plant, right? Where when the plant interacts with you, you might have tears, you might have sensations, you know, in your body, right? Some people have a knowing. They just know. They don't know how they know, but they know. And, you know, it's like in the plant ceremony, it would be, you know, like downloads, where it's like this thing, just this knowing that maybe you didn't know 5 minutes ago. You just know it. And you don't know how you know, you just know that you know it, right? And so connecting with the plant medicine is an active process that involves willingness and surrender and co-creation, and really trusting the process and eliminating self-doubt, as in, am I doing it right? What's wrong with me? I can't hear, I can't see, I can't feel. No, you are. You just have to either discover or honor your own way of connecting and sensing and perceiving information.
Thank you for that. And before we get deeper into the information about the plant medicine, there is a question about doing the breathwork practice and what do I do if I get dizzy during this practice? And another question was, do I do this practice with the plant medicine? So if you could answer those.
Yes, of course. So I like the first question about dizziness. I like doing breath work laying down, right? Or fully supported. You don't want to do it like sitting up, like you're doing, you know, monastic yogic meditation, spine straight. And no, you want to be laying down, you want to be supported. And dizziness can happen, nausea can happen, and those things are actually a signal that you are on the verge of something, right? So instead of completely stopping or quitting, my invitation is maybe to slow down, right? So if you were doing it really fast, kind of slow down, and also space the breaths, right? But keep going while you are safe. Now, if it feels like, whoa, this doesn't feel safe, then you can pause for a moment and get back to where you feel like you need to be, and then continue. Because the breath is like, well, it's self-regulatory, right? Like there are a lot of, I don't want to go into that, but a lot of the brain chemistry, the cerebral spinal fluid chemistry, biochemistry, neurotransmitters that change with the breath. And so your body sometimes has a little lag into adapting to all these changes that maybe you've never experienced before. And so your body's like, alert, alert, alert. What's this? It's too new, it's big. And so you feel dizzy, you feel nauseous, you feel all that. Is totally normal. Yeah. And the second question about, do we do this breath in the plant medicine? You don't need to do this breath with the plant medicine, because the plant medicine is literally like doing what the breath, I mean, of course, really more, right? That the breath is doing. Although during plant medicine experiences, we will have a beautiful preparation here where we prepare you into how to breathe in ceremony, because the breath is really essential in, bringing yourself back to center, regulating your nervous system and all those things. And we'll have a whole full session, telling you all that, giving you tips, training you on how to have an incredible ceremony experience.
Amazing. And with that, I want to share that we've put into the chat the website where I'm going to be sharing some more details about our upcoming sacred journey to Peru, where we will have Dr. Marie with us and with Puma Quispe Singona. And you can follow along at the URL that's there, sacredperujourney.com. And this retreat spans 10 days, and it will be from March 22nd through 31st, 2025. And in addition to Marie and Puma, we have Laura and Sarah joining us. And Laura is a sound alchemist and founder of Chambers of Awe. We'll also have Lindsay Wise, who's a ceremonial energy medicine, music, and plant medicine facilitator. And your experience will include powerful interludes of music and activations by local artists who will be facilitating journeys through their musical contributions. Tito La Rosa will be offering a sound healing ceremony with traditional flutes and among other ancestral instruments, sacred ceremonial songs and music from Menai Paktaken, and Nuturunas sharing celebratory fusion folkloric music. So the retreat is priced at $11,397 for a single or $8,997 for a double. And we have a discount through the end of September of $750 discount, which brings the cost down to $10,647 for a single or $8,247 for a double. And there are payment plans available. So the details are all laid out. And if you have any further questions, you can also see on that website that you can set up a time to have a free session with me so we can discuss anything further. Just one other detail, because of the intense work and wanting to keep the program intimate, we do have a limited number of participants to ensure personal attention and maximum impact. And if you decide you want to join the journey, there is an application process. And again, the website is sacredperujourney.com. So take your time to tune in. If you're feeling a yes, if you've had the call, we invite you to submit an application. And so the next question, Marie, that did come in is from someone who is interested on getting your insight about the different arc of the medicine of Wachuma and Aya in comparison with psilocybin. If you could share about that.
That's a whole course. How many hours do I have here? So, okay. So here's what I'm going to say from my own experience and what I've seen with my clients, which is that I like So psilocybin is, I feel like it's the modern little grandfather, right? Like psilocybin, it's a mycelium, it's a mushroom, and mycelium consciousness is really going around, the globe, awakening people, getting into modern science and microdosing. It's like really like bridging the worlds, right? So it has kind of, it can have a playful, and like you can see my face, right? Like the minute I thought about psilocybin, I started smiling and having, like, that's the energy. Doesn't mean the work is not deep. And my personal experience with psilocybin is that the mushroom people in shamanism, we say the mushroom people, told me that they open portals. Like their job is to open portals. And I have had that experience. Portals to, where you need to be, where you need to go to have that experience. And the other thing is that it works on, you know, different, like not the same receptors or the same amount of receptors as the other plants. And yeah, so without going into like science and, biopharmacology and all that, I just want to keep this answer like that, right? So grandmother ayahuasca is like the mother medicine. For me, it has been, it's ineffable, it's beyond words, right? So it's a deep journey, and she is really here to heal the world. It's like she's opening up to different places in the world. And I personally had so much of my emotional healings and coming into wholeness, resolution with ayahuasca. So ayahuasca has a grandmother energy, but just know that she's not always going to be baking you cookies, right? Sometimes she's, you know, um, like, let's sit and do the work. Wachuma is grandfather medicine. Um, Wachuma is to me, it's like the medicine of like star consciousness. It's the cosmos. It's very vast, and the experience with Wachuma is very subtle. Like you can actually miss it, right? With ayahuasca and less so with psilocybin, the experience can be intense, meaning intense visions and body changes or whatever's happening. By intense, I don't mean difficult, I mean intense. What chuma is subtle. It's like, is something happening or not? Which is why that stillness is so important, right? Because when you work with the vastness of the cosmos, if you really think about it, I don't know if you've seen this image where it says you are here and the earth is like a dot in like the galaxy. So when you're working with vast consciousness and there's it's easy to just like really enjoy that space of being held by the grandfather while connecting to the stars. And the place where we're going in Urubamba, the Urubamba river is, like it mimics the trajectory of the Milky Way galaxy, right? So beautiful space where, when we sit with Grandfather Wachuma, with actually like in front of that river outside in nature. It's so beautiful. Anyway, I don't know if I answered your question, but I just went into my relationship with them.
Thank you so much for that. And yes, there is gratitude for your insights about that you just shared.
Insights about that.
And we have another question coming in. So I am interested in going on the retreat. I'm not sure if I want to partake in imbibing the plant medicine. Is that okay? Is it a requirement, or how do I know what I need to take when it's offered?
That's a beautiful question that many people ask. Actually, being in this plant medicine retreat is about the container, because it's an energetic process. It's like the minute you say yes, the experience actually starts, right? So you do not have to partake into anything, and you will still feel it. you know it's like everybody in this retreat has agency, self-authority, and sovereignty. Nobody will force anything onto you. And at the same time, like I said, we will have that preparation session where you get more information, because sometimes we do not want to partake because of and we honor this, either beliefs or fears or concerns, or just fear of the unknown, uncertainty, and all those things can be addressed. And at the end of the day, we always tune in into even how much to give somebody who is partaking. Is not a cookie cutter, here's this, right? So you are held from day zero, day one, until the end, and we always honor your sovereignty and agency. So I hope that this does not stop you, because these types of journeys are usually a calling. You just feel like, I want to go. And sometimes it doesn't even make sense, right? Logical sense, where you like, I don't know why, I just feel like I want to go, but. And we are here to address the but, so that you can have an empowered yes or an empowered no, right?
I love that. Thank you. There's a question here about the application process. What is it that I am applying for, and what should I be prepared for?
Do you want to answer that, Lola?
Sure. The application is to get an in-depth health history of your personal physical conditions. If there's anything that needs guidance, we have Dr. Marie as our medical supervisor, who's reviewing each and every application. And it's to make sure that you are physically safe for the entire retreat. It's not just about the plant medicine. Peru and this location is at a higher altitude. So we just need to make sure that you're physically safe. And if necessary, Dr. Marie will suggest having a physical exam and checking in with your doctor. Marie, would you like to share anything about that part?
Unmuting myself. So yes, so it's really important, like I said, not only do we consider your agency, self-authority, sovereignty, but also your safety, right? We want to make sure you are safe. And, partaking in this plant medicine, especially ayahuasca, we want to make sure that there is nothing in your medical profile or your medicines that could potentially interact with the ayahuasca medicine. And if that is the case, we would then let you know. And for some people, it might mean maybe a gentle taper of whatever that is, or it might mean a lower dose, or it might mean not partaking in the ayahuasca and receiving the wachuma, but still be a part of the ceremony, because it's you're not just sitting there. There's music, there's activations, there's healings, there's clearings, right? So that's what it is about.
Amazing. So with all of that information said, I'm going to invite those of you who may have joined a little later to go to sacredperujourney.com. Read through the site. It has lots of information about our guests, the faculty that we've invited to join us, the musicians, which are a big part of the retreat. And also, there are some bonuses that you get when you become part of the retreat. So there are courses that we offer and some additional information sessions from some of our summits that have insight and guidance into psychedelic medicine and just deepening your connection on your spiritual path with this work. Dr. Marie, I'm just going to ask if you have anything else that you'd like to share before we close up today.
So I am really happy that you chose to come and join us for this experience, and I hope that if you do feel a calling, honor that calling, because there is a reason why you are being called, even if you don't know it yet. And I hope to see you in the Sacred Valley of Peru. And it's been an honor to be with you today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marie. And thank you everyone for joining us. Again, I'll just run through some details here. The website is sacredperujourney.com. The link is in the chat. And the retreat is March 22nd through 31st, 2025. The costs are on the website. You can submit an application, and there are options for payment plan if that's what you prefer. And the application process takes about 10 business days. Once you submit the registration, we'll pass that application over to be reviewed, and someone from the team will get back to you and share about preparation. And I think that we've got it all covered today. Thank you so much, Marie, for all of your continued wisdom, for joining us on another Sacred Journey to Peru. I'm very excited to be there with you and Puma and Laura and Lindsay at the event in March. And we hope that we'll see many of you who joined us today there. Have a beautiful day, and we look forward to having you in another program soon.